You know this fish, right? Bright orange, those classic white stripes. It's the star of one of the biggest animated movies ever. But what if I told you the cute story we all know and love is hiding a much more bizarre and honestly a way more fascinating biological reality? Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, you heard me correctly. In a real world scenario, after Nemo's mom was gone, his dad, Marlin, would have actually been on a biological path to become the new female of the family. I know, right? How is that even possible? Well, it all comes down to this one remarkable trick they have up their sleeve. The secret? Clownfish are what's known as protandrous hermaphrodites. I know it's a mouthful, but all it really means is that every single one of them is born male. The ability to become female is a latent power, a biological wildcard they only play under very, very specific circumstances. So this isn't just some random quirk of nature. No, no, it's a highly regulated, super sophisticated survival mechanism. Let's dig into the actual science of this incredible transformation. The science behind this is just fascinating. Researchers use something called the arch model to explain it, which basically shows that this sex change isn't automatic at all. It's a complex biological decision that only gets triggered when the social and hormonal conditions are just right. Think of it like a calculated, irreversible career move for the fish. It's not an accident. And this ability to change sex, well, it creates one of the most rigid and brutally efficient social structures you can find in the ocean. It's like a ruthless corporate ladder. And the only way to climb to the top is to wait for the CEO to, well, disappear. And this hierarchy is structured perfectly. So at the very top, you have the alpha female. She's the biggest, she's the boss, and she is the only one who lays eggs. Right below her is a single, smaller breeding male. And everyone else, they're just non-breeding juveniles. And get this, their growth is literally stunted by the dominant pair so they don't get any big ideas. So if the female dies, the breeding male gets his big promotion. He changes sex, becomes the new matriarch, and the largest juvenile finally gets to grow up and become the new breeding male. It's a brutal but perfect system for succession. But the clownfish's survival isn't just about what's going on inside its body. It's also about a powerful alliance it makes with a deadly partner in a very, very dangerous neighborhood. This is one of the classic examples of partnership in nature. You see, the anemone's tentacles are covered in stinging cells that are lethal to most other fish, but the clownfish has this specialized mucus coating that basically makes it immune. So in return for this untouchable fortress, the clownfish acts as a bodyguard, chasing away the anemone's predators, cleaning it, and even providing nutrients through its waste. It's really the perfect deal for both of them. And this partnership goes incredibly deep. I mean, clownfish don't just shack up with any random anemone they find. They actually use their specialized UV vision to identify specific anemone families they've been evolving with for thousands of years. This intense specialization has led to 4 distinct clownfish body types, each one adapted to thrive with a specific host. They are true connoisseurs of poisonous real estate. Okay, so why does understanding all this deep biology actually matter? Because when we crack these natural codes, we can create some amazing sustainable solutions. Let's look at how aquaculture is using nature's own cheat codes to breed clownfish without harming wild populations, which, by the way, have been in serious decline. Here is a perfect example of one of those biological cheat codes. Breeders figured out that if you crank up the tank temperature to 31 degrees Celsius, the clownfish larvae grow 16% faster. But as you can see, it's a really dangerous game. Push it just a few degrees higher to 34 Celsius, and suddenly over 13% of the fish develop skeletal problems. So that sweet spot for healthy, fast growth is a stable 28 degrees. You know, feeding baby fish is one of the biggest challenges and costs in aquaculture. For decades, it meant you had to grow all this expensive live food. But as this quote from a recent study shows, all of that is changing. And it's all thanks to better understanding how these little guys develop. And here's what that research means in dollars and cents. By figuring out that larvae can switch to a commercial microdiet just 5 days after hatching and completely skip the pricey live food stage, breeders can increase their net profit by about $1.60 per fish. For a big operation, that is a massive, massive breakthrough. And the savings just keep coming. Researchers also found that young clownfish are incredibly tough and can actually thrive in low salinity brackish water. So what does that mean? For breeders, especially those not near the ocean, it means a potential 57% savings on the cost of commercial salt. That's another huge win for sustainability and just being more efficient. And, sometimes these biological hacks are unbelievably simple. A study found that raising larvae in bright white tanks totally spikes their cortisol. That's their main stress hormone. The solution? Just switch to dark-colored tanks. That's it. Stress levels plummet, and their immune systems get stronger. A simple, zero-cost change with a huge impact on their welfare. So, when you put it all together, the picture we get of the clownfish is, well, it's far more complex and way more impressive than that little cartoon character we know. This is a creature that has truly mastered its environment. This is so much more than just a pretty face. It's a social engineer, creating a strict matriarchy out of pure chaos. It's a chemical artist, literally cloaking itself in immunity to a lethal weapon. It's a master of coevolution, shaping its own body to match its partner. And now, it's an economic bellwether, teaching us how to build a smarter, more sustainable aquaculture industry. At the end of the day, the clownfish's entire life is about transformation. It changes its sex, its body, its behavior, whatever it takes to survive and thrive. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible secrets, what other masters of adaptation are hiding out there right in plain sight, just waiting for us to look a little bit closer?